Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 9 of the 31 Days of Horror. DBougie86 here again, and I got a oldie but goodie for you guys today. This was actually a first-time watch for me, and I'll get a little more of my thoughts on it in a minute, of course. But got from 1955, a film produced by Hammer Studios, of course. And this release, of course, was put out by Kino Lorber Studio Classics. Yeah, and it's called the Quatermass Experiment. Now, I know a lot of people think that when they hear this word, they think quartermass, but it's Quatermass. As you can see, there's no R in the middle where you would say like quarter, you know what I mean? But yeah, the Quatermass Experiment, I know Hammer did at least 3 of these movies, live action ones. I know the Quatermass character was like a BBC character also back in the day. But yeah, this is the first one of their Quatermass series, also known as the Creeping Unknown in the United States. Yeah, very interesting film, I have to say, from a first time watching perspective. Pretty much the main setup of this movie is one night this mysterious object ends up falling from the ground, from the sky, from outer space, and hits Earth. And we find out that this object was a space shuttle that was sent into Earth for experiments into space research. And the head of this research was Professor Bernard Quatermass. Yeah, I can see I fuck it up too sometimes. Quatermass, yeah. And Quatermass and a bunch of other people go to the crash site and to find out, because there was actually 3 astronauts on this rocket, to see who's left to survive. And they find out there's 1 survivor, and the other 2, their bodies are nowhere to be found. Their spacesuits are very intact, but they're not in them, pretty much. So that causes some questions. And what happened to their bodies, where they go. And the one that did survive, he's badly hurt. He's badly damaged. He's kind of in shock when they first meet him. And then they do some investigation work, and while this is going on, there's something happening with our main astronaut that survived. He starts to display changes in like his skin, and his fingerprints change. And what ends up happening after a lot of investigation stuff is we find out that our astronaut is actually infected with this alien organism that actually absorbed the other astronauts as well. And he is slowly transforming into like this organism creature. And it's up to Quatermass and the rest of the investigating team to try to figure out and stop this creature before it spreads and takes over the world, pretty much. Now, that's pretty much the gist of the plot. Now, my thoughts on it. Very interesting film, I have to say. It has a lot of like investigating motives of like scientific facts and just police procedural stuff, which kind of had have a Giallo-esque feel to it in a way. And it also had a lot of impending like tension building scenes with like the creature and the man who's becoming the creature in invisible forests, and you see like the tension and the aftermath effects. And they actually show some of the aftermath of what this thing does to people, and it's actually very like horrific when you first see it. People's faces are caved in and stuff. It's actually very shocking for the time period that this film came out in. Now, the actual creature itself, the way that it is absorbing and the man is changing into this thing, one film came to mind when I was watching this, and I think you all know what film that is in general. And that the way that the organism creature that infects a human and takes over its body to spread its host and to spread against the world. What movie does that sound like to you guys? Yes, I think that John Carpenter was very influenced by this film. He actually has an interview on this disc where he talks about his love for this movie. A lot of the way that this creature is like, without giving too much away, it's kind of like The Thing. And it kind of blew my mind to see like this type of story done, because I know like John Carpenter said he did not want to make The Thing like the original Thing was, you know what I mean? So I think he took a lot of influence from this film as well, and kind of mixed the two films together into one. He wanted like the setup and backdrop of the original Thing, but he wanted like a creature more like this, pretty much. And you could see it in this film. It's actually fucking kind of mind blowing. And even like the final form of the creature, it has some Thing characteristics like tentacles and stuff like that, without giving too much away what it looks like. It's very rubbery too, because of the effects of the time. But it actually kind of looks good the way that they show it, because they don't show it like full force, and when they do close-ups of it, it's just like close-ups of like certain aspects of it. So I do kind of respect it like that. Yeah, man. You know. So with that being said, it was very interesting watching that aspect, and I did kind of like the story and the characters too, like the Brian Dunleavy as Bernard Quatermass. Does a tremendous job, and it's very eerie, and the way that the film ends, it ends kind of on a bleak ending, which I do like. And I know he's in the second one as this Quatermass character, which I actually haven't seen the second one either. The only one that I have seen past this one is the third one, Quatermass in the Pit, which I absolutely love that film too. So if I had to rate, wow, can't talk today, guys. Got back from work, you know. But if I had to rate Quatermass in the Experiment, aka The Creeping Unknown, I would probably give it a solid rating of a 8.5 out of 10. This was a very surprising watch for me. It's a very well done film, shot in lavish black and white. It's really great looking. Like I said, this actually has a lot of special features on it. Like I said, it has an on-screen camera interview with John Carpenter. It also has a featurette, The Quatermass Experiment, From Reality to Fiction. The Quatermass Experiment, comparing the versions. I think that's pretty much comparing it to the BBC version. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I actually watched some of the features before I watched the actual movie. On-camera Val Gass interview with Hammer film historian Marcus Hearn. Audio commentary with director Val Gass and Marcus Hearn. And Trailers from Hell with Ernest Dickinson. Yes, so that's a lot of special features for a release, guys. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for the Quatermass Experiment. Check it out. Alright, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow with another one, guys. So I'll see you then. Peace out.